Hey guys, what's up? RascalRyan521 back with part 2 of my LEGO Sons of Anarchy custom painted minifigures. Part 1 I actually released way back in summer 2015. It's been a long time. And that part actually gained the attention of a Sons of Anarchy fan website that shared the video, and my video jumped from like 500 views to like 30,000 in just the course of a couple days, which was really awesome. And I was happy about that, but I was also kind of displeased about it because it's like those figures, looking back at them, really weren't the best, and I don't want those to be the figures that people see. I feel like I've definitely improved a lot with these guys. Of course, I have 13 figures here. Most of them are the same as last time, or like the same characters, with the exception of I added Otto, and I swapped out Sheriff Roosevelt for Unser. So, without further ado, let's get started. Spoiler alert for all seasons 1 through 7. Let's jump into it with Jax Teller. So starting off, we have Jax Teller, of course, our main character, played by Charlie Hunnam. Absolutely incredible actor, in this series at least. I haven't seen him do much else with the exception of the show, but he does an incredible job. He definitely deserved an Emmy, especially in the scene with Juice towards the end of the show, where Juice basically tells him everything in the prison. It was fantastic. Some of the best acting I've ever seen, for sure. But onto the figure, as you can see, he's actually painted in the same outfit he was painted in the last showcase, just a lot neater, a lot better looking. It's like this plaid pattern. He wears like this plaid button-up shirt a lot of times throughout the series, like throughout the entire show, really. Most prominently in the final episode, Papa's Goods. If I kind of pull the vest open, you can see just the plaid pattern continues on to the side. You can see he's got a t-shirt underneath and some skin showing through. You can see painting on the arms was a bit of a struggle. That was annoying to do, but I still think it looks pretty neat. You can see he's got his knife holster and his chain. The chain actually wasn't painted on. That was just a part of the figure itself. And then his gold belt buckle. He's got his white sneakers. I thought about dry brushing blood on them from the events of the second episode of the season, or the second to last episode of the series. You guys know what that was all about. I'm gonna drop spoilers here and there, but I'm not gonna drop like super major spoilers unless I have to, you know. Yeah, I thought about dry brushing some blood on the shoes. I just didn't get around to it. He's got a handgun, of course. You know, standard Lego or standard Brick Arms handgun. And then his biker vest, I actually did something different with these figures. I actually made paper vests for all of them rather than painting it on. So if we look at it right here, you can see he's got this. You can see he's got the pockets and the different patches on them, the white patches. He's got unlike the other Sons, he actually has like a Sam Crow kind of like little patch that goes along the side right here. So that's what that little white stripe is. You can see the Sons of Anarchy logo. Some of the logos look neat, some of them don't look great. Jax happens to be one of the ones where it actually looks pretty good. His hair I painted, of course, and I sanded off the front. I think that hair represents his hairstyle pretty well in the series. And then his face is actually a Prince of Persia face, the main guy. It looks very similar to the Indiana Jones face. And then I basically just erased everything but the eyebrows and the eyes. And then you can see I painted the eyebrows, the color of the hair, added some lines to his face, and then painted on the mouth and the goatee. So overall, I think Jax looks pretty freaking cool. Pretty badass. Next up, we have Qui Morrow. And as you can see, he's painted in a dark gray, just a t-shirt that he wears a lot in the show. You can see he's got the short sleeves and everything, black pants, brown shoes. He's got an AK-47 because of course the Sons are gun runners, and he is seen fighting with a AK every now and then, testing him out and whatnot. His face was, you guys have seen that face before. I believe it was used like on some of the German soldiers, like in the Indiana Jones series of sets and whatnot. But I painted his goatee a lighter gray and then just added some kind of wrinkles to his face to make it look more like Ron Perlman. His hair was a very cartoony looking hair. It's been used in like some like Count Dooku and stuff in Star Wars that I sanded down greatly, kind of added some lines to make it look more like hair with a X-Acto knife. You can see his Son's logo on the back of his vest there. And then yeah, like I said, I just heavily sanded it down, and I tried to make it look as realistic as possible because I think that hairstyle, when you know modified, can make a really good hairstyle for Clay. You can see his vest, he's got the pockets once again, and then the patches painted on, of course. Seeing the AK, and then of course he actually has a little cigar. You can see like the little fire and ashes on the end of it there, but he's always smoking cigars, and Ron Perlman is a big like cigar enthusiast in real life apparently, so I just thought it'd be a fun little accessory to give him. So there's Qui Morrow. Next up we have Gemma Teller-Morrow, who is of course Jax's mother and Clay's wife. As you can see, she's painted in, she's got like a black vest or a leather jacket on. You can see there's some lines painted on there. And then she has a light gray like t-shirt underneath. You can see the skin showing through there. She's got some jeans on, and then some black boots painted on. You can see her hair is actually hair from the Harry Potter series. I think that actually works really well for her character, who has the streaks and everything. Her face, I think, actually works really well for Gemma, although I thought about erasing the smile and kind of making it more of like a frown or an evil kind of looking, just smirk or whatever, but she looks a little too nice, I would say, but overall it still looks, I think it captures the character pretty well. It can maybe be better, but it works. She's got a crease on the back of her leather jacket. You can see her boots kind of continue on to the back, and then what she's holding in her hand, huge spoilers for the season 6 finale in 3, 2, 1. This is, of course, the knife that the turkey fork that she uses to kill Tara, when everything goes down, and she thinks that Tara ratted Jax out to the police, and she goes to confront her, and it basically ends up in her killing Tara, which basically kind of sets up the events of season 7. So, really shocking scene, probably the most heartbreaking scene in the whole show too, when Jax discovers her body. But yeah, there is Gemma Teller. Next up, we have everybody's favorite Scottish son. We have Chibs, probably my favorite character in the show. I really admire and love the character's loyalty to Jax, and I just think he's one of the more interesting characters of the show too. He's kind of got like a hidden past you don't know much about, but he is really interesting though. And I love the actor Tommy Flanagan too. He's such a phenomenal job as the character. But Chibs, as you can see, is painted. You can see he's got these he's got a brown shoes paint on, and these pants are the same pants I used for Jax, except for I didn't paint the knife holster on this side like I did with Jax. It's just kind of left him plain. He's got a belt buckle on. He's wearing if I kind of pull the vest open, you can see he's kind of wearing like a brown, you see it's kind of like some paint splatter on there. I should have touched that up, but I forgot to, I guess. But he's wearing like a brown leather jacket type of thing, like leather zip-up jacket. And then his son's cut is overneath it, and then he has black sleeves because he actually, I think in the reference picture, he's also wearing another black leather jacket over the brown one, and then he had his son's cut over, so he's wearing like 3 layers of leather. It's insane. I don't know how he was breathing, considering they were filming like California too, so it must have been crazy hot. But anyway, so you can see he's got the skin showing through at the top of his vest right there, or his leather jacket. He's got a gun with a silencer on it. I feel like that face works really well because Chibs is always wearing shades. I probably could have repainted the mouth, but I just left it as is. He's got a light gray goatee. This kind of hair I think works really well for the character. I had long hair on him in the last part. I don't know what I was thinking. That looks nothing like him. Maybe in the earlier seasons, but certainly not in the later seasons like the look I was going for looked like. And his son's logo on the back, of course. You can see the back of his brown shoes. And yeah, there is Chibs. Oi, Jackie boy. What started out as being one of my least favorite figures to work on actually turned out to be one of the best looking. This is Tara Knowles, of course, Jax's girlfriend and future wife. I sound like Tommy Wiseau. Future wife. But yeah, she's painted in, you can see she's wearing jeans, then some black shoes, or boots it looks like. Like the black blends in so seamlessly with the dark blue, it's hard to tell. She's got like a black tank top or, shirt painted on. You can see her skin showing through at the top here. And then I really like the look of the over jacket on this one. I think just the painting on it looks pretty cool, and I think it was cut really neat. I just think overall it makes this figure look better. But yeah, she's got like this just pullover shirt, short sleeves, of course. You can see like little locks or little buttons on the top of the sleeve right here with her skin showing through the arms. You can see she's got long hair, nothing painted on the back of the jacket. You can see the continuation of her boots. The face, I just added some more wrinkles just to kind of make it look, more detailed. I don't know if that looks entirely like the actress, but I think I did a decent job representing her. And yeah, there is Tara. I should say she's also painted in the outfit she wears at the end of season 6, and of course, spoiler alert, her death scene. But she doesn't have the short hair like she did in that scene, just because I like the long hair look with this figure better. So it's just kind of a mix match of different Tara looks throughout the series. So yeah, there is Tara Knowles. Next up, we have Tig Traeger, one of the oddest characters in the show, but also one of the funniest. Of course, he is painted in like a dark gray button-up shirt. If I pull the vest apart, you can kind of see it. Very similar to, I almost painted exactly what I painted for my Daryl figure from The Walking Dead. A very similar looking shirt, or, outfit for him. He's got black pants and then brown shoes. He's got an Uzi for, the reason he actually has an Uzi is because of, spoiler alert, in season 1, not the finale, but the episode right before the finale, I think, is when he, accidentally thinking that Opie's a rat, after getting orders from Clay to kill Opie, accidentally kills Opie's wife in a drive-by shooting. So, very, very sad scene, for sure, and I just thought that weapon kind of went well with him because of those events, which, haunted the character throughout the course of, the entire show, so... but yeah, you can see his short sleeves with some black outlines on the sleeves. I chose to do black outlines over the skin for some figures, and some I just decided not to because I thought it might look better without them, based on just the type of outfit they were wearing. So, but yeah, I chose to do it with this figure. You can see the Sons logo. This is one of the ones that doesn't look very good because it's kind of painted too far to the right. But what are you gonna do? I think it looks okay. Not too bad. You can see he's wearing brown shoes. And his face is a Prince of Persia face with just this long hair. I don't really have any hair pieces that match his the curly hair that he has in the show, so I just think this one works the best for the figure, out of the ones that I have. So yeah, there is Tig. Like I said, one of the funniest characters in the show. I hate it when Mommy and Daddy fight. Next up we have Juice, and I gotta say, Juice is one of my favorite characters in the entire series. Juice to Sons of Anarchy is what Jesse is to Breaking Bad. He started out the show as just a simple, innocent character, kind of an idiot, but the entire show he goes through so many horrific and, sad events that he's just a completely broken man by the end of the series, and it's a really heartbreaking downfall, but it's fantastic writing for sure, especially at the end of Season 6, where he doesn't know his place, and of course he aids Gemma in the murder of, spoiler alert, Sheriff Unser, or, not Unser, Sheriff Roosevelt. But yeah, really great writing for this character, one of the best characters in the show, I think, and the actor absolutely killed it once again, as all the actors do. Yeah, he's painted in a white t-shirt. You see he's got some creases in the shirt. I actually like the way the creases turned out. I don't know why, I think they just look kind of, they look, I don't know, just look good. For some reason I like them. You can see, I did the black outline on this figure. Like I said, I did it for some figures, some of them I didn't. I think it looks pretty good on this guy. He's got gloves painted on. Or skin painted over the connector part right here to kind of make it look like the gloves don't really extend onto the wrists. He's got brown shoes painted on. He's got some jeans, and then the head, as you can see, I painted on the little mohawk that he has, the little buzz cut mohawk, as well as it's kind of hard to tell, but the black tattoos. See, the Sons logo looks pretty good on him. I think that turned out pretty good for this figure. He's got a regular handgun. You can see the other tattoos. And I chose to give him more of a serious face with the, other than the kind of the laughing, smirking one that I had on my last Juice figure. Then I painted on some lines. But yeah, there is Juice. Like I said, one of my favorite characters in the show, just due to the complexity and what they did with him, I thought was fantastic. Everything with Juice from Season 4 onwards is genius writing. Major spoilers for this next figure, guys, but next up we have Bobby. And Bobby was actually the one out of all these guys I was the most excited to update, because my last Bobby was absolutely horrendous. And when I say horrendous, I mean I'm talking my Dale figure and my Part 1 of the Walking Dead figures level bad. He was really, really bad. But so what I did is I actually decided to sculpt the gut on him this time. I think that definitely helps out the figure. I think it was my first or second time sculpting the gut. I can't remember if I did this before or after Ray Stussy from Fargo. I think I did this before. I think this was my first time doing it. So you can kind of see the outline of it. I think it turned out pretty good. He's got a blue button-up shirt with you can see kind of the skin showing through right there through the buttons. You can see he's got a collar paint on. If I can maybe kind of pull this apart, you guys can get a better look at it, at the sculpt and everything. Really, like I said, I really like how that turned out. I think it looks really good. Some skin showing through on the arms right here, just kind of partially rolled up sleeves. The gray legs are supposed to resemble the reference picture I was using. He had very faded jeans, really, really faded to the point where they almost look gray. So I just decided to use some gray legs for this guy. And then brown shoes. And he's got a shotgun with some appropriate areas painted black. You can see his Sons of Anarchy logo kind of sticking through the back of the shirt right here, or the back of the vest. It's kind of being covered up by his hair, but you can still see it well enough. And then you can see I kind of painted on some lines on his face, and then I sculpted this little beard and painted a mouth on it. I don't know if I'm entirely crazy about that. Maybe I'll just take it off and just leave the official mouth there, but I actually think it looks pretty good. And the spoiler for this figure is, of course, towards the end of Season 7, you know, he gets captured by Moses and them. And, you know, they break his hand, and they cut out his eye and send it to the Sons. A really, really disturbing scene, but you can see because of that I have him wearing a kind of a white hand as like a little cast, you know, stained with blood on this hand. And then his eye, I kind of did like a similar thing I did with Carl in The Walking Dead with like the patch going over it, and you can see the blood kind of dripping down. And overall I think it actually looks pretty good. I think I really like how that like blood effect turned out. But yeah, I was really sad to see Bobby go in Season 7. I honestly thought before that happened, or before he got captured by Moses, I honestly thought Bobby was going to take over the throne, so to speak, take over Sam Crow at the end of the series. So I was really sad to see that didn't happen, but still an awesome character nonetheless. Went out like a champ, went out swinging. Next up, we've got Opie, saddest character death ever. I'll just say it right here. I already said spoiler at the beginning, so, you know, whoops, sorry. But saddest character death ever, my god. This one really hit me for sure, guys. It was really sad to see Opie go, especially dying for the club like that. Fantastic writing, I loved it. It was one of the standout scenes of Season 5 for sure. But in this figure, of course, he's got black pants painted on with some brown shoes and a brown belt. He's really just wearing all black, to be honest. He's got this black leather zip-up thing, which is what he was wearing in the promo picture, just the reference picture I was using. You see all these lines are kind of meant to look like creases in the, you know, in like the leather jacket. And then he's got a little cut right here, or that's what they call the vest. They're cuts. Kutte, I believe. Yeah, you can see it's kind of being obscured by his hair, but yeah, he's got the Suns logo paint on. I think it turned out decent for him, not too bad. Bloodstained baseball bat, because he uses a baseball bat as a weapon every now and then in the series, so I just figured I'd give one to him. And then the face is actually a Qui Gon Jinn face that I pretty much repainted almost just about everything except for the eyebrows, really. Actually, I even painted over the eyebrows. Pretty much everything was painted on this guy. All the lines in the face are painted. The eyes, because it's an old minifigure face, were originally just black dots that I kind of extended on and tried to make like official minifigure eyes. Doesn't look great, but I would rather... I'm glad I at least tried it out. Clearly repainted the goatee and the mouth, I believe. Or not the goatee, I mean the beard and then the mouth. Like I said, the lines on the face, and pretty much all of that was custom painted, like I said, with the exception of the eyebrows, which I just traced over with brown to match the beard and the hair. So yeah, there is Opie, guys. Love the character. Super sad to see him go. I got this. Who better to follow up Opie Winston than his father, Piney Winston? Of course, as you guys know, Piney was actually one of the founding members of the Sons. Him and Clay, I think, were like the only two characters that were still part of the first 9 that were still in the, still alive at the point of the start of the series. But you can see he's got some gray pants with black shoes painted on. He's got just like a black pullover shirt or whatever. Underneath you can see some creases that are kind of dumb placement of them because it's being completely obscured by his cut. And then you can see his little hose leading to his oxygen tank kind of just going off to the side right there. You see skin showing through at the top of the shirt. You see the tube for the oxygen hose, or the oxygen tank, and then the little goatee painted onto his face. You can see his jacket is actually one of the old jean jackets. It's not made out of leather. He's like one of the only characters that doesn't wear a leather jacket in the show. His cut is actually made out of like a jean jacket material. Probably his original cut that he had like when they first started the club, like back in like the 60s, I think they said. So, yeah, and then you can see the Sons of Anarchy logo is a little bit harder to see. I probably could have made it white on him instead of a tan like I did for the rest, but it's still manageable. You can still see it pretty well. And it's not centered very well either. That's another unfortunate thing about it, but he's got a sawed-off shotgun, of course. You can see with parts of it painted brown to kind of give it like the wooden look of it. Tan hair, and I believe there's something else I wanted to say about this guy, but I cannot think of it. So yeah, I guess we'll just move on to the next figure then. There is Piney Winston. Next up, we've got Wayne Unser, who is actually a new figure for this showcase, one of the 2 new ones I have. And Unser, he's such an important character. He's in the show to like the very end, and I really like the whole progression with him and the cool relationship he kind of has with the club. You know what I mean? And I think he was acted really well as well. He's just a really good actor. But yeah, so moving on to the figure, he's actually painted in, spoiler alert, what he wears in his death scene in Red Rose, the second to last episode of the series. Goes to save Gemma, you know, it's a really heartbreaking line. I can't do that, son. This is all I got left. And then Jax, you know, fair enough, shoots him. Really sad scene as well. A lot of sad scenes in the show. The show is just filled with death, like even more so than The Walking Dead. But yeah, so he's got tan pants, black shoes, a white button-up shirt, who I actually didn't paint on the white on this torso. This is just a legitimate white torso. You can see some of the paint starting to wipe off right there. But yeah, so just kind of like a white button-up shirt. And then a tan jacket with some, I actually screwed up right there and I just painted over it. It's more noticeable than I would like it to be, but I didn't want to recut a new one, so yeah, you can just see some of the lapels and the zippers of his jacket. I actually think the tan color of the paper as well, and matches actually really well with the tan color of the arms. So that's pretty neat. The face, I don't know if it looks like Unser enough. I'm not sure if I'm the biggest fan of it. I may go back and just make a new face for him someday, because I don't know if it captures the actor really well. But I think it works for now. I just painted some more creases and lines onto his face. You can see his really receded hairline, just like in the show. You can see the hairline kind of painted onto the back of the head, the back of the jacket. And overall, just a really simple figure. I wanted to give him a little handgun, because of course he has a gun aimed at Jax in the scene. But I didn't really have any, the only revolver pieces that I had to spare were just official LEGO revolvers. And for some reason, official LEGO guns are always really big and really thick, so they wouldn't look good, you know, next to all the other brick arms weapons. So I just decided to leave him without a weapon. So there is Wayne Unser, or as Gemma calls him, Uncle Touchy. Next up, we have Happy Lomond, and if I'm being completely honest, guys, this probably is my least favorite figure of the showcase. Not that he's bad, but it's like, I'm using a Clone Wars face for him, so he's got the really cartoony-looking eyes, which I did try to paint over, by the way, and it just looked even creepier. I was like pretty much out of dark blue legs to use, so I just decided to use a regular blue leg, so it looks kind of a little too bright, maybe. You know, the blue is maybe just a little too bright. And the vest, the painting on the vest is a little sloppy, because it was, I think, the last vest I painted. So yeah, overall, not my favorite figure, like, so probably my least favorite of the showcase, but I still think he looks good enough to be, you know, to be displayed next to the other ones. But like I said, he's got a blue jeans painted on, and I kind of painted on some light blue lines to kind of show, like, weathering in the jeans. He's got brown shoes painted on. He's got a light gray t-shirt, like with a V-neck t-shirt with some, you can see dark gray creases painted onto it. He's got some skin showing through the collar right here. I decided not to do the black outlines for him, even though I highly debated it. I probably should have, because you know, the gray kind of blends in with the skin color a little bit more than I would like it to. You can see just the painting on his vest, of course. You see the back of his cut doesn't, or his son's logo doesn't look great, especially this little top arch right here. I probably could have made that look a little bit better. He's got a buzz cut painted on, to, like I said, a Clone Wars face. I probably should have just found a new face for him, but it does look eerily similar to Happy, or to the actor that plays him, David LaBrava. But like I said, the eyes are just the creepy part of the eyes. It just kind of stand out, and I tried painting over them, but it didn't look very good. But oh well. I think, like I said, maybe I'll go back and redo the face in the future, but for now I think he looks pretty good. He's also got a black handgun, and yeah, there is Happy. Are you afraid of my mother? We all are. And then finally, we have the most attention-grabbing out of all these figures. We have Otto. Of course, this is our son's character that is trapped in prison for the majority of the show. Actually, for the entirety of the show. He's serving a life sentence for the club. And this is, of course, spoiler alert, from his very final scene in Season 6. Can't remember the episode. I think it was like Episode 4 or 5, something like that. Where he, of course, kills the one agent that's basically trying to, take down the Sons. Famous actor. He's in Gotham. I can't think of his name right now. But basically, he's got black shoes painted on, gray legs, although you can't really tell the color of the clothes under all the blood, a white torso, and he's actually played by Kurt Sutter, the creator of the show, too, for those that don't watch the show. And then he's got a Harry Potter face with the glasses. You can see he's got like the little scar over this eye, and then the little, just remember, he gets one of the eyes stabbed out, so he's got the little covering up the figure. He's got the black over this eyeglass lens for the eye that got stabbed out. He's got like this little goatee painted on like he has in the show. He's got his hair in a ponytail, which I think looks pretty neat. And then just more of the blood stains on the back. And then why is he covered in blood stains? Because of course in the scene he kills Lee Torek. That was his name, I believe. Yeah, Lee Torek. He kills Lee Torek, and he eventually, in the process, ends up getting shot, because of course he does it in a prison, and he ends up getting shot to death for it by the guards. So the blood kind of surrounding the figure, like just all around his arms and hands and everything, is Lee's blood. and the blood, like in the big like stain in the middle right here that's on both sides, is supposed to resemble the 3 gunshots that he gets. He gets more than 3 gunshots, but they stand out the most in the middle right there. But yeah, like I said, this figure was similar to a Walking Dead figure I did in my last showcase, just to kind of an excuse for me to deck a character out in blood, and I think I had a lot of fun making this guy. I think the blood stains on him look really, probably the best blood stains I've done on a figure before, I'd say. I think they just look really cool and really disgusting. I also dry brushed some tan onto the figure just to make the shirt look grimy and dirty, you know, with the, you know, other than the blood. And then some creases, and you can see his skin showing through at the top here with the black outline. And yeah, there is Otto, Big Otto Delaney, and with that being said, let's close out this video. So there you go, guys. I hope you liked them. Make sure to tell me in a comment down below what your favorite one was. As for myself, I really think I like Jax the best. You know, the plaid pattern on him, it took forever, and I really think it turned out really, really good looking. I also really like the sculpt work on Bobby. Juice looks pretty good as well, just the painting on him. But yeah, all these figures I really like. I think they all turned out great. I made sure not to get this video made until I was 100% satisfied with all these guys, and I am pretty proud of how they all look at the moment. So let me know if you want to see any other Sons of Anarchy type videos, lists, countdowns, or even some Sons of Anarchy mocks. You know, I'm sure there's people watching that, you know, maybe aren't even a fan of the show, but they're just watching because they like my figures. So if that's the case, then I appreciate it. But yeah, if you're a Sons of Anarchy fan, you want to see any more Sons videos, just let me know down below in the comments. And until next time, guys, I will see you with another figure showcase coming very soon. Peace out.